Hello besties and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my review of the DYSON AIRWRAP. I am so excited for this video because I have been seeing this product all over Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, so I can't wait to share my thoughts with you guys. Before we get into it, if you are not already following me on Instagram and TikTok, be sure to do that. My username is @HannahWhirling, and let's get started. So first of all, the product comes in this super big box. I think it's really nice, really high quality. It's made of like a leather, but it would be really difficult to travel with just because it is so big and heavy. I would need to put it into something else. But once you open up the package inside, I'll just show you guys what it looks like as well. It looks just like this, and there is a non-slip mat right on the top, so I assume that you could put the dryer or something like this on it, but I actually haven't used this piece yet, but it is still nice to have, certainly. So this is what it looks like inside, and I believe that I got this set with all of the different attachments, so I will go through each of those with you guys. Just to start off, I will show you what the base of it looks like. It just looks like this. It's really nice that the cord is super long, but I have to say it is also quite heavy. So this is just a little close up for you guys. As you can see, there's an on and off button here, and then you can actually press this button up for a cold setting as well. And then there's also fan speed and different temperature settings too. On the back, you just have this little button for the different attachments as well to lock it into place. So moving on, the first attachment is just going to be the hair dryer attachment. I don't know, for some reason I thought this colored part was the front, but it's actually the back, and then the air comes out of here. It does work pretty well. However, I wouldn't say that it's as powerful as like a regular hair dryer if it's just that tool in itself. So moving on are the brush attachments. So the first one is a round brush, and I love my round brushes because it does give a really nice blow-dried look. I do like this one, however, I do wish they had a bigger version of it. As you guys know, I did a review previously on the Revlon kind of one-step hair dryer, and it has a rounded brush similar to this. However, it is a lot bigger, and I feel like honestly it just does a better job. I think that this does kind of keep my hair a little bit too frizzy because I have naturally really wavy and frizzy hair. Next, there are two different types of smoothing brush heads, and to be honest with you, it's really hard for me to tell the difference. One of them is a little bit more of a stiff brush, and I think that this is better if you do have wavy or frizzy hair or even curly hair like me, but it does do the job pretty well. However, if you are trying to blow dry your whole head just with a straightening brush, I don't feel as if it does as good a job as a straightener or even as good a job as the Revlon product. It does have a hard time getting up close to your scalp just because the bristles are so long. You kind of have to pick your hair up and then try and blow dry it that way, but even then I do feel like I still get a little bit of frizz, especially around my ears and up at the top of my head. The next kind of brush attachment is a soft bristled brush attachment, and this is also for smoothing the hair, but I feel like the soft bristles just won't do a good enough job if you do have wavy or frizzy hair. So I would say that this is probably not something that I'm going to use all that much. The stiff brush one I think does a lot better job. But however, if you do have damaged hair from something like bleaching or using too much heat on it, this can be good for preventing breakage. So the next attachments are probably the ones that you guys are most excited for, and the ones that I was most excited for about this product are the curling attachments. So this is what they look like. There are two different sizes. So there's a larger barrel and a smaller barrel, and I have to say I don't really use a larger barrel for curling my hair just because I feel like my hair never stays in place when I do that. So for me, I really only use the 1.2 attachments. They have one for each side of the hair, so basically you're supposed to put it on the side where the arrows are pointing out. I'll give you a little close-up here just so that you can see what that looks like. So this one I would actually use for this side of my head, and this one I would use for the other side. You can also switch the sides that you're using them on if you want to have curls that kind of go in and out for a more natural look, which can be really fun and cute. However, I have found that these are just too short for my hair, to be really honest with you. when you curl your hair around it, it does have a tendency, if your hair is too long, to twist up at the top, and I feel like it gives more of like a crimped look, which I personally do not like. So there is a solution for this, and you can actually buy separate attachments. It's not super expensive, so if you do have longer hair, I would recommend not only purchasing this, but purchasing the longer attachments, and I'll show you guys what those ones look like. So these are the longer attachments, and these are the ones that I have been using, and I love these. I don't find that my hair twists up in the same way. So again, if you have longer hair, I would definitely recommend doing something like this instead of using the shorter one, just because I don't think that the short one does enough curling, and it will really only be able to get the very ends of your hair, and then again, you kind of risk that twisting up at the top as well. So definitely worth investing in these extra attachments if you guys decide to purchase the Dyson Airwrap. So I'm going to test all of the attachments for you guys just so you can see how they work and what they look like. So the first one is just going to be the blow dryer, and I did decide to start with my hair dry just because I know that when you use these attachments, if you do have wavy or frizzy or curly hair, you will probably have to run a flat iron over the top still. That is the one thing that I wish Dyson had come out with, is some sort of straightening iron or flat iron attachment using air, which I think they'll probably come out with at some point, but they haven't yet. And I also forgot to mention the price of the whole thing. It is $550, which is very, very expensive for hair products and hair care. So I would recommend that if you guys really want something similar, I would try out the Revlon first, and if you find that you really like that, then maybe go and purchase this. But it is a really, really nice product, and I do really love the way that it curls my hair. I think that it's something that's worth it if you want to invest in your hairstyling and hair care. So I always like to use the hottest setting and the highest hair setting as well, so I'm just going to turn this on. So I don't know if you guys can hear me right now, but it works very, very well, and this is something that I like to do if I'm styling my hair and I do have those frizzes at the top. Sometimes it can be nice just to kind of hold it close to your head and let it blow dry through, but as you can see, it is pretty powerful and it works pretty well. So once you have blow dried through your hair, then attach something like the smoothing brush. I think that this is a great next step just to get your hair a little bit drier. They do sometimes recommend having your hair a little bit wet when you are doing the curling portion of your hair. I personally don't like to do that, again, just because I do have frizzy hair and I know that it will frizz up if I just let air blow on it, especially at the top. So next, after blow drying, I do like to go in just with this straightening one, and this is the thicker bristle one. I will show you guys how I use this one, but I like to pull the hair up and then slide it through when I use this, just to make sure that it does dry up at the top of your hair. So as you guys can see, it does a very good job of keeping your hair straight and smooth, which I love, and I do like using this attachment just to kind of smooth over everything. I will also use it in the mornings, like when I wake up, just to get rid of any flyaways or frizz, and it does a really amazing job at that. You will probably have to go over your hair a couple of times before it is completely dry, and the other thing that I would recommend is make sure that you brush through your hair before using this, because it is stiff brushes, it can cause breakage, so just be aware and be careful when using this attachment. Next is the round brush attachment, and I love round brush styling. I think that it looks so good, super flattering, and very on trend right now. You can get really nice waves with this thing, and it can kind of flip your hair out at the end, which I love. You can use it to touch up second day hair, which is amazing. Again, I do wish that they had a little bit of a bigger round brush attachment, but if this is the only thing that you have, it does work well. I'm just gonna show you guys how I would style this, and I will show you kind of how I flip the ends out on my hair just so that you can see, and then we'll go in with the curling attachment as well. I know a lot of people also use round brushes to curl their curtain bangs, which can be really fun as well, and you can actually do full curls. One thing that I forgot to mention is that the tip is a cooling tip on all of them, so even if your attachments do get hot, you can use a curling tip to actually rotate the brush and really get those nice curls and waves if you're using the round brush attachment. So now for the attachment that I'm sure everybody is waiting for. This is going to be the curling attachment. I will show you guys how this looks, and I will actually curl my whole head so that you can see. I really like this attachment. I'm going to use the longer one, but again, you can use the shorter one too, and I cannot wait to show you guys. So this one has the arrows going this way, and I'm just going to start on this side of my head so it will wrap around. It's so cool. It automatically kind of wraps your hair up, so you don't need to worry about it or do anything else with it. I'm really excited, so let's jump into it. So as you guys can see, you can actually pull the curler in and out to make sure that you get exactly what you want curled, which I think is so cool and fun. I like to hold it for about 20 seconds, the same amount of time that you would hold something like a curling iron. Then you can just turn it off and let it go. And this is what the curl is going to look like. It's super nice and voluminous. You can kind of brush it through with your hand, but as you can see, you have this really nice twist going on right there. I'm going to go around and I'll do my whole head this way, but I love that you can just kind of twist it up. It's super easy. Start at the bottom, it'll wrap, and then you can kind of pull it up however you'd like, and then again, just hold that for another 20 seconds. So this is what my hair looks like when it is all curled through. I think that it looks really nice. I love the volume that it gives, and I love that it's kind of a nice, beautiful, loose curl. I think that this tool is so great. I do recommend, if you do it without having wet hair, like I do, putting a little bit of hairspray in it after you are done, just to make sure that the curls actually hold, because you're not using as much heat as something like a curling iron. It will be harder to have it hold all day. But for me, it hasn't been too much of a problem. You might need to touch it up like right at the end of the day, but other than that, it does a really good job of holding, and that was when I wasn't using any hairspray on it. So if you just spray a little bit of hairspray in, it should not be a problem at all, which I love. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this review and little mini tutorial was helpful for you. If you have not yet subscribed or checked out my other videos already, be sure to head over to my channel to that. I have more hair care, fashion, skincare, and more, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!